Today is Emily's first day of
in
fourth grade.
And I'm scared as crap.
It's 6:37 in the morning. Emily has never had to get up this early.
Except for that one time, me and Billy and Mark had to get up really early so we could do something fun, which I don't remember what it is.
When you went to Ben and Jerry's factory?
Yeah. In Vermont. Which was like a 12-hour car drive. Well, we were in the car for 12 hours, but we did make stops.
It's okay. Are you nervous? Nervous-sighted?
Yeah, nervous-sighted.
I love you, Emily. I'm sure you're going to have a good day.
I'm sure too, camera.
So, it's Emily's first day of school. Sorry, I probably don't look that awesome right now. It was like 6:30 when I got up, and it's about 7:15 right now. So I didn't really do my makeup to bring my daughter to the bus. But it's very emotional. I didn't want to have to send Emily back to public school, but last year I had a lot of trouble getting her motivated to do her homeschool with me. So there was a whole bunch of reasons that I wanted to send her back to public school. And I mean, one of them was that she was fighting me about doing homeschool, which she didn't used to. I homeschooled her for like 3 years, or 4 years if you include kindergarten. But no, she just started fighting me about doing all of her work, and I got really tired of, felt like banging my head against a wall to get her to read books and stuff. So there's that, and then obviously we moved out here, back to our old house, and there are no kids out here on our road. There's no one for her to play with out here, which at our old place there were tons of kids. So I felt like, A, she was fighting me about homeschool, B, she was really lonely out here, she could really use some friends, and I think that actually it will probably be good for her to go back to school, at least for a little while, because she doesn't have to do public school forever. I mean, we could go back to homeschooling if she wanted to at some point. But for right now, anyway, I think this is going to be really great for her, and I think it'll be some good new experiences for her. So I'm trying not to feel like a disappointment to myself. Obviously, after homeschooling, makes me feel kind of like I failed, and okay, I'm the person who has more books than anything. I have more books than shoes. I have more books than movies. I have more books than anything. I love reading. And for me to not have been able to figure out how to make my daughter love reading is so disappointing. But then you get stuck. As a parent, this is what I've learned, is that you have all these expectations for your kids, and that is the worst thing ever that we do as parents, is having expectations. Because kids are going to be themselves. Kids are going to love their own things and do their own things, and they're never going to come out the way that you expect them to. So, I think this will be really good for her, and I'm kind of excited for her, and she seems excited too. Today we me and my husband spent all day doing wood outside, because we usually go through about 6 cords of wood every winter. So we ended up spending pretty much the whole day processing wood, cutting down trees, and all of that. And now we're going to celebrate and make some lime mango jello shots. It's going to be awesome. So anyways, here's the stuff I got. And I got the lime jello and some New Amsterdam mango. And yeah, we'll see how they come out. Hey everybody! Today I'm cooking dinner. Like I usually do. I just wanted to do this little video because I'm using a bunch of the tomatoes that Trish started and grew this year, and even though she hasn't been back, it's okay. In case she comes back, I just wanted her to know that I'm going to can some of her tomatoes and make spaghetti sauce, and I'm using these to cook dinner. So we've got some fresh spinach and fresh tomatoes in here, and I'm going to have pasta with some yummy sauce. So yeah. Anyways, I should do an update and show you guys. There's some huge cucumbers out back that she started, and now they're cucumbers, and we've never actually gotten cucumbers before. So this is super exciting for us. But anyways, so I have this, one of them is really big, and the rest of them are kind of normal size. So anyways, I'm excited about that, and I thought our green bean plant died because it's been so droughty up here all year, but we actually ended up getting more green beans. Thanks, Allie. I'm making a video. But anyway, so I'm going to keep cooking dinner and chopping up these tomatoes, and I will show you guys the garden tomorrow. What you doing, Justin?
Killing guys on Fallout. What are you doing, babe?
You going to do one of these jello shots I brought down?
I would love to. You're so awesome. Do you want me to do it now?
Yes. You're supposed to use your tongue.
Do you see how deep that cup is?
Come on, I know you have it in you.
What am I, Gene Simmons?
What do you think?
Do you use any water? No, very good. Thank you, babe. Love you.
I love you. Hey everybody! Today I'm cooking dinner. Like I usually do. I just wanted to do this little video because I'm using a bunch of the tomatoes that Trish started and grew this year, and even though she hasn't been back, it's okay. In case she comes back, I just wanted her to know that I'm going to can some of her tomatoes and make spaghetti sauce, and I'm using these to cook dinner. So we've got some fresh spinach and fresh tomatoes in here, and I'm going to have pasta with some yummy sauce. So yeah. Anyways, I should do an update and show you guys. There's some huge cucumbers out back that she started, and now they're cucumbers, and we've never actually gotten cucumbers before. So this is super exciting for us. But anyways, so I have this, one of them is really big, and the rest of them are kind of normal size. So anyways, I'm excited about that, and I thought our green bean plant died because it's been so droughty up here all year, but we actually ended up getting more green beans. Thanks, Allie. I'm making a video. But anyway, so I'm going to keep cooking dinner and chopping up these tomatoes, and I will show you guys the garden tomorrow. Aw, but it's your first day of homeschool, kindergarten. Can't I take a video? Please. What are you doing? Are you stamping? You going to make me a pretty picture in your sticker book?
Just stop taking a picture then.
Hey, Allie, I love you.
I love you too. Just stop taking pictures of me.
Hey guys, it's Casey. I just kind of wanted to do an end of the month vlog. Actually, it's beginning of the month now because now it's October 2nd, but I just wanted to kind of do a blog to wrap up my month of September and kind of like talk about how it went and the progress that I've made a little bit and all of that important stuff. So, obviously it was the first month that Emily was in school, so I didn't really do a lot of vlogs. I've been super busy every day after school helping her with homework and getting all that stuff done and, you know, packing her lunchbox and just like, you know, doing all that mom stuff. So basically it just, you know, falling into the everyday habit, and I mean, I'm still really having trouble sleeping at night. I still can't fall asleep until like 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning, which means that I only sleep for like an hour or two before I have to get up with my daughter, get her on the bus, and then hang out with my other daughter because she doesn't go to school yet. But yeah, I think I really wanted to talk about a bunch of things, especially how like at the beginning of the month when Emily first started going to school, I felt really, I don't know, bad. I felt like I had failed because I wasn't homeschooling anymore, but I mean, honestly, I really think I needed the break this year, and I think I just have to admit that. With being a foster parent the last couple of years and homeschooling and life with 3 kids, and now I'm not fostering my niece anymore, and Emily's going to school, like, I've been really able to relax and work on some of my inner stuff that I have going on, and I think that it's been really good for me, and I've tried not to be selfish as a mother. I'd always try to put my kids first and pull my hair out trying to do everything that I thought was good for them, and, you know, that's why I spent all these years homeschooling and all of that. And, you know, it's really awesome because Emily has done so awesome in school this month. Like, she brought home one of her vocabulary tests that she got 100 on, and it just shows that, like, I really wasn't slacking off homeschooling her. And I really did a good job, I think, because she is definitely keeping up with the kids in her class, and she's ahead of some of them. And she also got an award, like, last Thursday. Her whole school did awards, and she got an award. One kid in every grade got an award for respect, and my daughter was the only kid in 4th grade who got the award for respect. So, but everyone knows that my oldest daughter is just the biggest angel ever. She really is. Emily was such a peach that I had a second child because I thought all kids were like Emily. But it turns out Emily is just like my husband Justin, and my second daughter is just like me, and she's kind of a devil. But anyways, that aside, Emily is like so enjoying school, and she seems so happy, and I'm really glad for her, and so that's great. And then the other thing is that obviously one of the things I've been talking about is getting my memories back and working on kind of putting myself together, and I actually hadn't heard from Tris in a long time. And finally last night, I actually stayed up all night with my husband, and we do that a lot on the weekends when he doesn't have to work. We stay up all night together. And sometimes we just talk all night, which is really awesome. And so last night we did that. And we kind of went back through my whole entire timeline of everything that I could remember. And one of the things that my therapist always talked to me about that I never understood up until this point was that they always thought that I had been dissociated at an earlier age than the abuse that happened to me. And if you don't understand what that means, I'm going to try and put this simply. It means that the abuse that I remember wasn't actually the first abuse that happened to me. Something caused me to dissociate before that abuse, because I've had dissociative symptoms and feelings of being watched since I was at least 7 or 8 years old. So basically what that means is that my unwillingness to do anything like hypnotherapy or EMDR basically means that I won't let people mess with my brain and pull out those memories of whatever it was. But I ended up kind of going back through what I could remember with my husband last night. And we went all the way back to when I was 2 years old, when this really weird incident happened that obviously I have no memory of because I was 2 years old. And this is something that I've never talked about before because it's something that I'm not proud of having in my life. But when I was 2 years old, I was told that I microwaved a cat. And all my life, I have loved cats. Like, I was never really a dog person. I don't dislike dogs. I just always was a cat person. And I love cats. I still have a cat to this day. Well, I had never in my adult life actually really thought about that incident until last night when I was talking to my husband about it. And he goes like, he asked me like, what do you mean they told you put my mom had basically said that I told her I put the kitty in the box and apparently had turned it on. And this was in, 1990 when microwaves are those big, huge, heavy things and you turn the dial with the big button on the bottom. And my husband and I were like, man, when I was a kid and we chased cats, like, it would have been really hard for a kid to catch a cat and put it in a microwave. And if I had just done it and went and got my mom like I said I did, I mean, I'm guessing she would have had time before it exploded like she said it did. So there are a whole bunch of interesting holes in that story that just don't add up for me. I'm not sure that I believe that as a 2-year-old I could have gotten a cat in a microwave. Justin and I think because of the level of MKUltra and that sort of abuse that I have had in my life, that it's really possible because at that time of the cat incident, my mom was dating who became my brother's father, my first ex-stepdad, and he was a cop. He was a cop who investigated occult crimes. Now, we're from Maine, and it's not all that weird to read Stephen King up here, obviously, but he investigated occult crimes, and he was absolutely obsessed with the occult. So basically, like, I grew up at age 3 and 4 and, 2 or whatever. He came into my life when I was 2. Watching Stephen King movies and reading horror books like Goosebumps and stuff, I was always reading at double my age level. And anyways, I really wonder, obviously now that I'm an adult, if he wasn't involved in what he was investigating. Because my mom said that she called him to clean up the mess. And my mom said that she was sleeping when it happened. And I just think that there are a lot of holes in this story. And the weird thing is that I don't have any memory of, obviously, the cat, anything happening to this cat. And I love cats. And the whole thing is just really weird. And so I wonder, because I know, and I've read Fritz Springmeier's work, I know for a fact that they use animal abuse to dissociate children. They will torture animals in front of children. They will kill animals in front of children. They'll kill other children in front of kids. They will kill other children in front of other children to dissociate them. They do all of these things to dissociate kids. I wonder if that cat wasn't killed in front of me to dissociate me, and maybe that's why I have no memory of it, and that might have been the original abuse. But I don't know. It's just a theory. But that's one of the things that came out while we were talking last night. And I think it's really important, and I wanted to kind of put that in my video so that I don't forget it, no matter what. So yeah, other than that, I've been kind of having a really, I've been kind of chill this month and not really like doing a lot of extra research or anything like that. I'm kind of watching the Euro collapse and Deutsche Bank and all of that. And so as I follow all of that stuff and how it affects us here in the United States, that's kind of the only thing I'm keeping track of right now. I'm not overloading myself with information because I feel like I needed a break. I've been kind of trying to cut it loose and hang out with my husband and just enjoy life. And like, I know my hair's not down right now, but Justin helped me do my hair like Harley Quinn, and that was really fun. And just, I've been trying to have fun, because I feel like I've been serious for like years. I feel like I've been trying to take in as much information as I possibly can, and I just can't take in anymore right now. I feel like I've got to process all of this, so I haven't been pushing myself. I've just been trying to deal with what I've got. And then the other cool thing that I learned when I was hanging out with my husband, is we do energy work together, like Tantra and all of that. And I'm trying to find the words to put this into words. I realized that when I was getting my Reiki certifications, I had gone and seen this medium, and her name was Lori. And my friend that I brought to see her with me didn't really hit it off with her, but she really read me really well. And one of the things that she had told me, this was like 4 years ago now, 5 years ago, something like that. Basically, she had told me at the time that I had like a huge blockage in my solar plexus chakra. She said it had something to do with my dad. And I hadn't talked to her about my abuse because I never talk about that. But I actually automatically assumed that she meant my real dad, who I never had any contact with really, and still don't. He still won't talk to me, and I've tried, my mom's tried, he pretends I don't exist. And anyways, it never occurred to me that she meant my abuse. And so the other night when we were doing energy work, I could feel that I was pushing out in my lower chakra. It was basically like we were making love, and I realized that instead of taking in the energy, I was pushing out, and it was causing me this breath of fire to build up all of this energy in my solar plexus chakra. And I discovered that it's actually the entire root of my nighttime anxiety. And so now, even though I'm still struggling with insomnia, I haven't had nighttime anxiety in a couple days. And it's all because now I can sense when that energy is building up, and I have learned to flush the energy out of that chakra. I can actually control it now and flush it out, which is absolutely a miracle for me. I have spent the last 14 years not having any control over how I felt at nighttime, and just, you have no idea what it's like to have so much nighttime anxiety that you could just, it's overwhelming. I mean, okay, this is what happens to me. I get so stressed out at night that I have all these racing thoughts, and my blood pressure and my heart rate go through the roof. My whole body overheats to the point where my necklace that my husband made me, this necklace, it heats up and it feels really hot. Like the metal is hot. That's how hot my body is. And then I have to go get in the bath, and it's like I'm transferring all of my energy into the water and trying to get it out. And I have to do that like between 1 and 3 times a night, depending on how late before I actually pass out. And so it's really like, that has been a horrible thing for me my whole life, nighttime anxiety. And for the last couple of days, I haven't had to take a bath at night. I haven't gotten overheated. I've been able to squeeze that energy out and not have to deal with it. It's been absolutely the most amazing thing for me ever. Like, I feel so much better. I feel so much better. And so I wrote this kind of long note on Facebook today that I published, kind of about healing from all of this and all of that. So if you're friends with me on Facebook, you probably saw it, but it's under hashtag DID awareness, hashtag stop human trafficking. And yeah, so those are kind of the things that I've been working on. And I don't know, that's kind of what's been going on with me in this last month. I'm really sorry I didn't do more vlogs, but I kind of came up here to do one to talk about what I've been up to. And I don't know, I'm going to give you guys a quick view of this room that me and Tris put together a little bit, I guess, because this is, I started putting Tris's stuff up here, and I actually heard from her last night, which was really cool because I hadn't heard from her in a long time. And we actually got to talk a little bit last night. She came out a little bit, so that was really good because I was kind of worried that she was just gone. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to talk about before I do the room tour, or maybe I'll do it while I'm talking. So, oh, it's kind of dark up here. Yeah, all right, I put this bed together. And then I had put some of her stuff over there, but the other thing that I've been able to do now that I have shared consciousness with my other egos is that, sorry, I have a wall of fabric over there. Okay, I have been able to basically, what is the word I'm looking for? Separate the voices that I hear. When I was being abused, the abuse that I can remember, one of the problems that I had as a teenager was not only, because I've talked about how when I was a teenager I had really uncontrollable psychokinesis and stuff like that, But before that kind of happened, the first thing that happened to me was that I started hearing voices. And that is a sign of dissociation, but it's also can be a sign of schizophrenia. And both of those things, if you are looking at the top of my channel, are very important in the spiritual world. And so my whole struggle, ever since I started hearing the voices, was separating my voices from not my voices. And that has been really, really important to me because I often get all of this chaos between whispers and voices, and I never knew if the voices were mine or whose they were or what, because I'm a multiple. But now that I've been able to use shared consciousness and talk with my other alters and have all of this be revealed to me and we're working together, now we are able to separate my voices from the voices that are not mine. And so I'm able to kind of swim in the sea a little bit better. And I mean, it's been a good and a bad thing. The bad part about it is that it kind of ties in with my dreams and what happens when we switch when we're not here. Sorry, winter's coming in Maine. Basically, like what happens when I switch, I often, because the ego is actually the illusion of separation. If you lose your identity and you lose your ego, who are you? Basically, you're part of the oneness of everything. You are everyone. And I have often woken up in bodies that are not mine, in lives that are not mine, and tapped into that. Well, in my dreams, I do the same thing. And sometimes I tap into really scary things, like other people being abused. It's almost like they're calling for help. And I wake up in their body, in their house, wherever they're being abused, and I witness what they're witnessing. Except sometimes I've seen things that are so scary that even if it was happening, I wouldn't do anything about it. And that's like the worst thing I've ever said in my life. But imagine that you're in a dream and you wake up in this body and the person is experiencing children being chopped up in front of them and stuff like that, people being tortured in front of them, because every time that they try to get help, they are punished by having people decapitated in front of them and stuff like that. It's really messed up. And, you know, those are the kinds of things that I see. People being tortured, abused, just all these situations. It's like all these people calling out for help, and I see it, but I'm also one of those people that realize what's going on and realize that, you know, we can be killed for saying these things, and we can be killed for trying to get help, you know. And the bright side of YouTube is that, you know, when people watch this, I mean, like, I don't know what the percentage is, but I'm sure most of you or some of you just think I'm insane. And that's the benefit of YouTube, is that they think that I am discredited because of my disorder, and that kind of makes them safe. So even if I were to go to the police and say, you know, I know exactly where this person is being held, which in the last dream I had, I could see the street sign outside and it was somewhere that I knew, you know, like, it becomes obvious to you, as I wrote in my post earlier today, that some of the police are in on what's going on. You know, there are people involved in our communities directly, locally, who are part of covering all of this up. In my story and in other people's stories. The police and other people are part of the cover-up. You know, we have Big Brother in the sky. They can watch you pick your nose from a satellite, but I'm expected to believe that, like, 200,000 kids go missing every year and they can't find them. I'm sorry, but this is a cover-up, and everyone needs to admit that. And, you know, I am sorry to admit that it scares me that I can't help anyone because I'm afraid that my own kids would be killed. You know, and that's why I stay quiet about a lot of the things that I know. But regardless, you know, this is kind of what's been going on with me in the last month. And so I've been kind of dealing with all of this and trying to make my way through the mystic seas. And honestly, I hope someday that I can find enough people who understand what's going on, that maybe we could change things. Maybe enough people that have been through it and don't just think I'm crazy and want to change things and go after these people. But I can't do it by myself, and I wouldn't. It's, this is the elephant in the room that no one talks about.